What is going on, guys? Welcome to Gums Videos. My name is Kyle Cooper. Today I'll be reviewing A Monster Calls. This is going to be on no one's radar, which really sucks because it does deserve a lot of recognition. It's a fantastic movie. I'm going to go over the good, the bad, and all the other good stuff. You guys know how this works. There's a lot of things to talk about in the good. I'm going to start off with the writing. The writing is really well done. As a screenwriter, hopefully going to be a screenwriter in the future, I've noticed screenwriting a lot more, and the character development was fantastic. Each character felt real. There was no really good or bad guy, which I thought was really impressive. And that's really hard to pull off because there's this, like, every movie has the good and the bad guy. The good guy wants to do something and the bad guy prevents him from doing it in some sort of way. Every movie has it. This really doesn't have it. And that kind of brings me to Sigourney Weaver's character, who is Connor's grandmom. I'm going to give you the plot synopsis really quick so I can just go over this one part. Connor's mom has cancer, and Connor's trying to deal with these problems, issues, with family issues, school issues, and you just follow Connor and how he deals with these things. And Sigourney Weaver comes in and it's like, okay, you got to do this and that. I'm not going to spoil anything, but in the trailers, it made it look like she was really going to be a bitch. And she really wasn't, and I was really happy for that because she's got good intentions. But if you are a kid and you saw Sigourney Weaver doing these kinds of things, if your grandma was doing this, you would think she was evil too. So I thought that was really well done because in the kids' eyes, she's evil. But to us, as mature audiences, if we look at it, we're like, she's really not that bad. She's trying to do the right thing. And as the movie goes along, you really could tell she's not that bad. She's really good, but it just looks like she's bad. Not good. She's human. The transitions between the reality and, the dream sequences, and the dream sequences to the reality was awesome. And the story scenes, the art, the visuals were fantastic. I mean, come on. They were great. And the acting, come on. The acting was fantastic all around the board. The kid had this one scene, I forget the actor's name, but the character's name is Connor, and he had this one scene with the monster at the very end. Well, not the very end, but like the last 30 minutes. The kid, his face, his emotions, the way he carried himself on screen, sharing his emotions. I'm not spoiling anything, but it had me crying. And if it wasn't for the acting in this movie, I wouldn't have cried as much as I did. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm a tough son of a bitch. Oh, I'm tough as nails. I, drink gasoline for breakfast. No, I cried a lot. And I mean, I never watched a movie that made me cry this much. I'm being serious. There was times where like, oh God, contain myself. I'm like, whew, good. And then I saw another thing, and I'm like, oh God. It was heart-wrenching. And some of the sound effects were fantastic. Like the sound, the visuals alone were awesome. There's awesome messages in here. Like there was some stuff I'm like, wow, I never really thought of that. And that's just impressive. There's so many cool messages. That's going to do a cool little segue to the cons. There's too many messages. At one point, there was, at least for me, I was picking up several messages towards the very end. The monster, played by Liam Neeson, he starts saying all these things at once. And I'm like, okay, that's a message. That's a message. That's another message. But they're not all at the very end. They're layered throughout the movie. And I thought the first two acts was really well paced when it came to the messages. You gotta be brave. Too old to be a kid and too young to be a man. I thought that was really good. And then there's so many cool messages. And then it was sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. And then the sprinkle machine kind of broke and just dumped it all at once. I mean, that's kind of a nitpick, but I wanted to pick up all the messages. Some people were like, just watch it again. Never. Not because it's bad, because it's just rewatchability is horrible because I don't want to get stabbed in the heart again and cry. And some of the messages were kind of confusing. And what I mean by that, it probably had to do with the messages being poured down at once, because those were the ones I kind of found confusing. I was trying to read into one of the messages. I was trying to put the pieces together. They try to make you read into the messages, which I found really awesome. It tries to treat its viewers like they're smart, and thank you for that. But if you're dumping so much into it at once, it kind of made it hard for me to pick up some of the messages. So maybe that's why I found some confusion. I'm like, wait a minute, we can put the pieces together, and then other message dropped onto me. And this is really just an opinion of mine, not really a fact or whatever. The bullying cliche, I mean, like, I'm glad they showed, like, I'm not glad that the kid's being bullied, but, like, if you really want us to feel bad for the kid, have bullying at school. But what I'm tired of seeing is that every time you have to have a bully at school, they have to be beating the shit out of the kid. Bullying, 90% of the bullying does not involve fist to fist, fist to face and shit like that. It's mostly verbal. And that's really hard to accomplish, feeling bad for the kid as he is constantly being verbally abused while making it feel real. Like, how do you go to that line and not cross it? I know that's really hard, but I'm tired of seeing, like, the kid, like, every time he was on screen, like, the kid was bullying Connor. I'm like, oh, come on. You're beating him up for this? You're beating him up for that? Really? And then there were some times where I got kind of confused because, like, he constantly looks back at him in class, and Connor always stares at him, which, whatever. Connor looks at him, the kid turns around, he always looks scared or, like, upset. And then, literally, when he comes outside of school, he beats the shit out of him, which I found kind of confusing. And some of the shots were fantastic, but then there was, like, literally 2 shots that were shaky, really shaky, and it looked kind of amateurish. One in the beginning and one at the very end. Like, it took me out of the movie because a lot of these shots were smooth close-ups, like zoom-ins and zoom-outs. I'm like, oh, that's smooth stuff. And then you got shaky cam. The one in the very beginning there was no excuse. That should not have been shaky at all. The one at the very end, it was a running scene. So I guess I could see why with that, but there was a lot of other stuff where the camera moves forward. There's so many other ways you could have really done that, but that one I could excuse. The one in the beginning I really can't excuse. So there's a lot of pros and some cons, but I'm going to give this movie 4.5 out of 5 stars. The movie is heart-wrenching. I'm probably not going to watch it again, but I really enjoyed this movie. I hope you guys check it out. Make sure you're not alone. Well, if you don't want people to see you cry, just go alone, bring some tissues. Because I was in the theater by myself, so I could cry all I want. But, oh, God, it was just horrible, horrible. I was bawling my eyes out like a little bitch. Thank you guys for watching. I have Twitter, Instagram, Gumps_videos. Go follow me there for the latest news and updates on my channel. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and all that crap. Later, and goodbye.